I mentioned Community Coalition as one of our first partners. I'd like now to bring up a gentleman who I met just a few minutes ago, Mr. Herb Smith from the Los Angeles Mission. Come on up, Herb. I leaked out a second ago that I was formerly an elected official. But even prior to that, I worked as an organizer and a project manager for United Way. So I'm very much familiar with the work of the Los Angeles Mission, but more importantly, the critical nature of services you provide. So share with the broader vision of the mission and then bring it back to pieces, because I know you all do a lot more than just serving.
Well, I'm inspired by listening to the speeches ahead of me, and I'd rather sit down and listen to them. But I am the president of the LA Mission. This is our 80th year of service to the community. And though we focus on homelessness, we actually do two things. We focus on emergency services, the food and clothing and shelter that most people think of when you think of mission. We also focus on the lives of the individuals who have been affected by homelessness and to try to provide through hope, but tangible hope. We are a faith-based institution. We don't make any qualms about that. We do believe in God and that God can change a person's life. But more importantly, it's not just that, because God without a job without a home, job without something to eat, job without skills, jobs without all those other things, without God, don't amount to anything. And so we look to serve the whole community, so we do things in our program like education. We have historically had a GED program because we know that homelessness is a temporary thing. It does not define you or me. It's a condition we find ourselves in at the moment. It does not mean that you're going to be a homeless person for the rest of your life. I'm going to be old and white for the rest of my life, but I'm not necessarily going to be homeless, right? So we want to make that distinction. We also know, and I think one of the gentlemen was asking, how do I help somebody? Well, I can tell you very simply. Begin to build a relationship, because a relationship with another human being is what will change a homeless person's life. And it's as simple as getting to know someone's name. We all want to be known. We all want to know somebody cares for us. We all have a higher power, perhaps. Whatever it is, that sense in our human spirit that we are something more than what we are right now. And so, for example, at the LA Mission, there's a gentleman who went through our program recently. We called him New York. He lived up on the street. For 7 years or more, our volunteer director would go by and say hello and give him some candy. And he was never, she'd say, are you ready to come to the mission? No, I don't want to do that. After 7 years, he finally, through that relationship, wanted to make a change in his life, and he came, and we were able to help him go through our program and become successful. Because our outcomes are employment. Employment is necessary to maintain housing, because without employment you can't have a job, you have no income, and you can't have a home. Right? So we understand that some of the root causes and the broader issues, frankly, the biggest issue of homelessness is housing. If you look at the statistics, it's not veterans are a small portion, the youth, but it's the inability to provide and maintain housing. And what drives that is education, which to me comes right back to this campus, what we're doing today. As a former college professor and administrator, I feel right at home. I wanted to go up and do the accreditation thing because I've done that a dozen times. But really, when it comes back to the homeless piece, I think it's important as students. I was going to talk about how this area in terms of spas, I'm working at LASA, I'm on the Continuation Council, I'm also the president of the LACPC, which is Central Providers Collaborative in downtown. 18 or 20 different organizations all focused on these issues. And we can talk about the lack of services in this area. The fact that this particular spa, this particular area is almost now the same level of homelessness as Skid Row downtown. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And it's growing. If you look at the last two studies, counts that were done in 2011 and 2013, I got the numbers here, you can go online, it's astronomically growing. And it's growing all across the board. What scares me, however, is that the youth, the younger population in this area is growing, and at the same time, the homeless numbers are growing. And that says to me that we're seeing homeless youth, we're seeing the highest level of single parents in LA, in this particular area, trying to make it. Education is so critical. I resonate with the comments about people coming out of foster care. My wife and I have been involved with that process for 15 years. She's taught at camp, she's a teacher. Absolutely. The statistics are a woman coming out of foster care without a safety net in 2 years will be on the street, homeless and pregnant. That's it. That's the statistic. Every one of those women who comes onto the front door of this campus, students, staff, you have a responsibility to those individuals to build a relationship and keep them from becoming another statistic. While, as this gentleman mentioned, we're trying to get an education, we're trying to better ourselves. Maybe you need a shower, maybe you need a snack upstairs. So those are the things that the LA Mission, behind the scenes, we advocate, we're involved in all the political stuff that goes on. But our central theme is, first and foremost, homelessness is an issue of broken relationships. Primarily, it's education, it's employment, it's spiritual, it's family, it's government. There are things that happen in people's lives that cause them to end up in that temporary state of homelessness. And we as a community, at the LA Mission, me, Herb Smith, new student here at the school, have a responsibility to another human being, not the collective them, but the person you come in contact with down there at the lunch counter or walk down the street, the sidewalk, and Skid Row here. Those are the people we're here to serve. And I'm not going to go into a lot of other statistics except to say that we have been serving the community for 80 years. We do things differently than we might have, case management. The other one that is central to me is mental health. And I'm sorry that people from mental health aren't able to be here, but let me just tell you this. At least 50% or more of people experiencing homelessness because of trauma and other factors are also experiencing mental health related issues. And for us at the Mission, one of the things when I came in, and people coming through our program, they could do life, but they couldn't do life by themselves. They weren't getting the mental health services. So we brought directly into the Mission the Chicago School of Psychology so that students getting their degrees in psychology to help counsel people that were in our programs and needed help. So when I saw a person who graduated our program coming back for a meal 2 or 3 weeks later, living on the street, and I said, why? This is not right. This is not what we're here to do. And that person was able to live with us for 12 months and we couldn't identify the mental health needs of this individual. Shame on us. So mental health is also a very critical piece. I also found that it's a very stigmatic issue within the African American community, and particularly with the African American males of the older generation. And I can give you stories about that. I won't at the moment. But let me just say that every one of us needs help. And that's what the LA Mission is here to do, provide help, hope, and opportunity to men, women, and children in need. We can do it in Skid Row. Our goal is to make sure it happens not only in Skid Row, but across Dillon County and through the partnership with other agencies across this country. So thank you very much for listening, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have with more specifics.
I heard was going to start talking about me when he said older black men. A quick thought. A few years ago, maybe more than just a few, you knew in Los Angeles that if you went to the east side of downtown Los Angeles, you would see a concentration camp. If you ran on the boardwalk and on the Paseo and Santa Monica, ran on the beach, you would see.
I got out under the 3 strike law. We got the 3 strike law. So when everybody 3 strike law, thank you. We need somebody, I need somebody to help me. I'm leaving at 1:15. Okay. By accident.
Where did he go?
Oh.
Vincent. Did you see where he went?
Then he step in for a minute, fake the phone to you.
I had my girl. He can't. He been here.
I know that. They passed my ticket and put everything up.
To the south, now, y'all get out.
Oh, yeah, we had that.
But had I not been on
I think we had that lady, the principal from there. Can you, I'm gonna get her, can you snap, oh, stop, can you just snap it right here? Okay.
Yeah, that's right there.
Right now, so if you did enter, and you guys are right here, keep your ears open. Because what we're gonna do,
Oh, that's the principal.
Oh, that's Zoom in, wait.
3 times.
Okay, I'm going, okay, I'm gonna go over there.
Oh, it's a yeah, but you were moving around.
Yeah, all you have to push this way right here.
Right here, alright.
Okay, cool. Let me get back in.
We got a lucky winner.
Yeah, and then the little red.
Fill out the sheet
Yeah.
that we have for you. We'll give you the tickets and take a photo.
Okay.
And you'll be on the merry way.
No, kids are leaving there with and I'm able to participate for their
I got some more waiting.
Giselle,